What's up, my crypto legends? In this episode, we're talking about the Bitcoin price here, and I'm going to show you how this level is huge resistance, and we're probably not going to successfully get above $22,000. Now, this doesn't mean we could wick above this range. I just want to explain you in this episode right over here that this is a huge resistance zone. We're also taking a look at the S&P 500 because there's something very, very curious on the S&P 500. I know that we are having this rally here for the last few days on the S&P, but I think it's going to come to an end and we're going to start crashing in between September. In October, I want to go back to 2008 when we had the financial crisis and show you some huge similarities. We could be poised for a big major correction on the S&P. It's going to be a cold winter, guys. You know the deal. But we also going to take a look at Bitcoin here on the weekly. I'm going to show you how there's potentially only going to be a few more months of bearishness or sideways action before we start picking up for that insane rally in the next couple of years. So make sure to stay tuned. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Daily TA on Bitcoin crypto, and I also do live streams to connect with the community. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything that I say, and if you do so, do your own research. Let's dive in here straight into the content, guys, because what I want to show you here is that this level, slightly below $22,000, is a huge resistance zone. Why is it a huge resistance zone? Well, if we take a look at the volume traded here between June and September, the point of control is right over here, just at the 21.5K level. All right, we've got the value area high slightly higher here, 21.6, and we are potentially just going to get a little bit of volatility above this range. But also we can see here the higher low major support range that got supported here in June, July, and August is now acting as a big major resistance zone. Not only that, we're also hitting 50% Fibonacci retracement here to perfection from the highs created in August here, slightly above 25K, all the way down here to the 18.5K level here. As you can see on the chart, we are just hitting 50% Fibonacci retracement. Now, this doesn't mean that this is the exact resistance level. We could still have a little bit of volatility to get that liquidity above the last lower high range here, looking at the daily, which is right over here. As you know, Bitcoin likes to get liquidity above the highs, right? Once you create a high like here, then it gets a wick to the upside and then has the correction. We got another high right there. We get that wick here above the high, then we get the correction. Same goes on here, on and on. As you can see, wick below the highs and then the correction. So I do think that there is a possibility in getting that volatility above the 21.9K level. All right, the highs here is 21.887. As you can see here, right there, the high that we did create on the 24th of August. There is a possibility in getting that volatility slightly hitting maybe 21.9 or 22K levels. And I do not think that we are going to have enough bullish momentum to get above this range with the huge amount of resistance that I've just showed you here on the chart, and we are likely to have that corrective move at least to that 20.5K range, because this is the highs, as you can see, which is a major resistance, and a daily level, as you can see right there on the chart. Right, we had many daily closes and opens here at that $20,500 range, so it is very, very possible that that corrective move can happen all the way down to 20.5. That would be my major target here once I see that volatility get exhausted, to aim to hit those levels in the next coming days, next week or in about 2 weeks. Okay, guys, so that is something that I am looking at here for Bitcoin, looking at the analysis, the big major resistance zone. Remember, for all of those experienced traders on Bybit where I trade, you do get an insane bonus of up to $4,550, and if you sign up, you get 0% maker fee for 30 days, guys, by signing up down below in less than 2 minutes with an email and a password. On PrimeXBT, where I usually trade the S&P 500, you got a bunch of different assets such as oil, gold, natural gas, forex. You have $7,000 worth of bonus to be claimed. You basically get 7% added to your deposit with Bitcoinsensus 50 as the promo code once you sign up. I want to show you also the S&P 500. Now, the S&P 500 can have the possibility and have that momentum here still to the upside. Let me just get here the VPVR that is showing you here the massive big volume traded in between the ranges here from 2021 and 2022. We can see these two big major spikes getting that support and the resistance zone here, as you can see on the chart, getting that support. Now we did have that momentum to the upside. It didn't have enough bullish momentum, so we did get that rejection from the lower high trend line, as you can see. So right now, I do think that this is just a dead cat bounce scenario from this big support level, and we are going to follow the trend here to the downside. Maximum momentum for the S&P 500, in my personal opinion, is going to be 4,150, 4,200 points at the most, okay? Because we do have this big spike. I do think that 4,100 is a level that I'm going to start shorting, okay, on the S&P 500, because I do see a leg down continuation and a retest of this $3,600 range that we did create in June. This is very, very likely to happen in September or maybe during October. The winter is coming, and we do now know that the economy is not doing absolutely great, and we are poised for a major recession with this massive interest rate hikes that the Federal Reserve is doing. Now, if we do go back to 2008, I want to show you this massive rally, okay, that we did have after C19, okay, 2021 and part of 2022 here was starting to have that major correction here in January. So big, massive rally that we were having on the S&P 500, and I want to show you right over here back in 2008, 2006, 2007, where we were having massive bullish momentum on the S&P 500, and here in 2007, just before the big major recession in 2008, we did have a little bit of a correction, a little bit of a downside action here, as you can see on the chart, creating those lower highs. This is very, very similar kind of price action that that the S&P 500 is doing right now, as you can see here on the chart, right? Massive big rally. We're having a little bit of a descending channel, and I do think that the S&P 500 in the next coming months is poised for a bigger major correction, guys. This is what I am eyeing for the next coming months, so we need to be prepared for that scenario. If we go back here to 2007, 2008, we can see we had the start of a little bit of a correction and then a big major correction, as you can see here on the S&P 500. This was exactly during September, October, November of 2008. During August, we were having this kind of momentum to the upside, very similar to what is happening right now. Just after August, in September, we were starting the big major correction on the S&P 500 here, going all the way down to December of 2008. So it was very, very bloody 2-3 months here, as you can see. And I do think something similar is very likely to happen, as the economy is not doing absolutely great, and we're going to see these hikes on interest rates from the Federal Reserve. But overall, being extremely bearish on the stock market and possibly seeing lower levels on Bitcoin, there is a possibility that in the next coming months, and this is if we haven't bottomed out on Bitcoin, which I don't think. I think there is a little bit of more price action to the downside, despite any kind of relief rally that we do have. I think the bottom could be close to in the next coming months. I just want to show you the bottoms that we did have on Bitcoin here back in 2015, also in 2018, and the potential bottoms that could happen, all right, before the end of the year, guys. Just looking at the RSI here on Bitcoin on the weekly, when we got to the oversold territory, we were just trading at this range for just a few months, as you can see, indicating that the bottom was in. Of course, we did kind of almost retest the lows. We went sideways here for several months, and then the rally started for the next coming years. Also right over here, when we peaked back in 2017, we did have that big major correction, and when the RSI went to the oversold territory, it didn't go here till the last bottom, as you can see on the chart. Then we went sideways and the rally started, okay? We also had that major correction in 2019, part of 2020, but overall that was the bottom, okay? So what I want to show you right now is that we have touched the oversold territory on the RSI. The last time we touched it, it was right over here on the bottom in 2018. But Of course, can we go sideways? Can we go slightly to the downside here in the next coming months? Yes, because just by showing you, this is not a massive big indicator in the short term, but it can give you signs that the bottom can be closely as in the next 1, 2, maybe 4 months, all right? Because right over here, back in 2014, we did go to the oversold territory. This was October of 2014. The RSI went back down here in January of 2015. That was about 4 months after touching the oversold territory, but we were forming this kind of descending wedge scenario, slightly lower lows and lower highs, and the same scenario here, lower lows and lower highs on the RSI, forming this descending wedge scenario. This is happening also since the beginning of 2021 on Bitcoin, lower highs and lower lows, and at some point this has to have an uptrend, as you can see, after getting to the oversold territory and breaking the wedge here to the sideways and to the upside. Then we were having a massive rally on Bitcoin a few years later, as you can see right over here. So at some point, this cannot go down forever. It will bottom out here, the RSI, and we will start shifting here to the upside. So this is likely to happen in the next coming months, guys. There's only a few more months left here for some sideways action, another retest of the oversold territory, and then finally having that bullish momentum. I just want to show you here, despite the big massive bearishness that there is in Bitcoin, can we drop below $18,000, maybe retest 15, 12K level? I know that is going to happen very, very fast. We won't be trading at those levels for a long time, so it's going to be a big, massive buying opportunity, just like Bitcoin gave us here back in 2015 and also in 2018 in the massive big bear market that we did have. We've been going down now for several months. This is the moment, guys. We want to be very, very hyped up for the next bull run in the next coming years, and we are potentially very, very close to the bottom, as you can see here, just showing you from the past performance here. Looking at the RSI, RSI is a pretty good indicator. If we want to take a look at the long term, we can see that we are potentially very, very close to the bottom, guys. This is going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for joining. Make sure to smash up the like button on your way out, and I'll see you on the next live stream.